So I'm telling him that I think this has to be dealt with now.
Excellent. And you're telling this to Samander,
Is
Yeah.
or you're
is
telling it to the Gothi?
I don't suppose Baldur is going to spend one of his relationship bonds to help him on this role.
Sure,
So
I will.
Who are you
Ingolf,
telling
I'm
it
going.
to? Are you telling it to Samander, or are you telling it to Gothi Ingol?
Gothi Ingolf or
Okay.
Ingolf.
And I'm going to need a point from you in a little while when I make my play.
Yep.
I love how everybody's like, "Yep, time to speed chess. Let's do it."
Uh,
What up?
You
so
Oh.
get
13.
so you gave a bond, correct, Balder?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have all your checks yet? Yeah, you did because you reset. So you have a new one again with Olaf Olafsson because you just used a move on him, which
Yep.
was to spend the bond. And Olaf, why don't you tell me what you think? You get to. They pick two. What is it you're telling them to think? I didn't
I
really
think
catch it
so.
overall. You
I
want.
think he deals with it now, and he's done, and she's done a grave dishonor on his part that he needs to like balance the scales, right? So I don't think he needs to kill her, but he needs to judge what balances the scales of his woman stabbing me.
He needs
You
to
know,
make reparations. Is what
she's
it comes
done
down to.
grave harm to me. She's attempted and done grave harm to me.
Okay.
What
He
balances
cannot
that? And
erase
I
a
want
bond with you, so you gain a bond with him. But
right.
mark down, you now have a bond with Gothi Ingold Thormundson, and he has to do what you want because those are the only two options he can pick. So
And
he's like, very well. At the end of winter, I shall render judgment upon Thora Elfsdottir for violence in my house.
I'm not
here's
sure.
where the kicker is gonna come in and see now what has come to this village. You speak and speak as I'm looking at Silmundur of how we are dishonorable and just like the rest of your people. And here you are, your women folk stab people in the back. You dishonor you dishonor your own father by not accept by calling people out in his great hall in in the middle of a feast in his daughter's honor. I think it is quite clear that the there is something quite wrong here, and
He says, are you questioning my honor? Because I serve the
oh
White Christ.
no, I'm not questioning his honor because I can't. But what I can do is that I want to start a I want to literally start a feud between the Christians and the non-Christians in this village because of my
Do that.
cunning. This is what I've been planning all along.
Very well.
So
You
I am
reveal
going.
you have planned this all along. Roll plus verse.
Hold up before you do that. What is your verse?
And
+2. I'm gonna spend 2
yeah,
bonds to give you a +2 bonus on this.
Oh,
I need
shit.
all the bonds, man.
Yeah, so
This
that's what
needs
I
to
was gonna
work.
ask. Do you look to Olaf for support?
I look to all of you for support. We're
I
gonna need
will.
Sounds
this.
like all of you are going to be marking relationships with each other. Is she
I
serving
will
We
lend you my aid,
we need
Boulder.
this. We need this. We need to get allies here. We need to get food.
All right, so
So, yep,
Still get a
that's
10. With all those
10.
bonuses, you somehow
This
turn a not so great move into a good move.
this is what I had been planning all along. All of my
All of his
all of the
meticulous
details
planning has just come to fruition right now.
right now.
Very well. You manage to turn the general populace against Simonder and the White Christ pretty easily. They're all like, this is so dishonorable. I can't believe he's fallen so far from his father. Where is the White Christ in this room? Where is the service that he provides to the village? And then some guy's like, you made me free all my slaves. And someone else is like, yeah, my slaves all want to join the White Christ. It's bullshit. It is literally the shit of a bull. Who will serve me food in the morning? Who will make my eggs? when they are all in the White Christ living free. I actually feel like this is a great place to stop the campaign for the night. Like, with this just giant ball of chaos and see how it resolves itself.
Yeah.
So here's my question. Do you guys want to... Do you want to stop here? Or do you want to, like, play
This
it out?
I think this would be a great place to stop. Otherwise, we're gonna go on way too late.
I agree.
So let me ask the next question. I want to advance it a couple years rather than just a season. You
Okay,
guys okay with that?
I am okay with
So what's
that.
going to
Yes.
happen is, no
Yeah, it
matter
depends
what
on how.
happens tonight, Un the Crone dies.
Okay.
You're going to have to retire the character.
Okay.
Because
Aw.
you rolled the misfortune, that was what was going to happen. Off screen, Thora kills you in the middle of the night. The blood
Does
feud
some-
has started, and it's now three-way. The Christians and non-Christians are feuding, and the whole village is now feuding with your whole farmstead.
Yep.
And it all starts off because Thora kills Un in the middle of the night, and Gurney turns against her mother. That's the future, that a small peek of the future that you see.
Okay.
So we're gonna need a new character, unfortunately, Un the Crone.
I had
But-
actually.
You have a couple interesting things you can do here.
Okay.
You have died as a pagan,
Okay.
which means you can declare a few things.
Okay.
Let me look up the specific move, but I believe that when you die as a pagan, you can tell us how things change for the future.
Okay.
Interesting.
Interesting.
Let's see here. I know it's a move. It's just one of the moves that's not in the regular move list. Sorry. Expanding the game. When you die as a pagan, roll plus verse there.
Okay.
Or roll
rolling.
+3 if you died in a fight or a battle. So you did die being stabbed to death in the middle of the night. So if your verse is not +3, you can take +3.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will take +3 on my versed.
Very well. In the crown. Misfortune has struck, but your name might be remembered.
Okay. Let's see how well this goes. Does anyone want to spend bonds with me? Now that they're worthless?
Well, I was gonna
What
say,
place
yeah.
here?
Did we all have bonds with you?
Only,
Oh.
I don't think anyone had bonds with
No.
you.
No one loves
Oh,
me.
sad-
All right. Well, here it
sadly.
goes. 11.
Yeah. Your name lives on,
11.
affecting those who come after you. Create a token through which your memory survives. A poem, a story, a family heirloom, and a runic inscription. On a 10+, you gain 3 bonds. Spend those bonds at any time to influence those that know your memory. So what happens is you can give someone some item, and then anytime you want to, even though you're dead, you can just be like, "Oh yes, by the way, you remember Un the Crone," and they could be like, "Da da 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 da." I'd have the sad song from Scrubs, and you influence them. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
So
So I'm assuming I go back to just a flat character with no advancements
That's
or anything like
correct.
that.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, back to level 1.
So
No.
Damn it. But do we get some advancements for the surviving a couple? How many winters are we
your
surviving?
character, you only survived 1 winter so far. You'll be moving
Okay.
years ahead, but that doesn't mean you guys are like, yeah, you guys are gonna survive this winter, but barely. It's gonna be bad. You didn't gain the alliances here that you might have wanted or needed, and you didn't pick the moves that might have gotten you through it. It's gonna be a bad winter. Fortunately, you do have one thing carrying you through it, and that's the fact that because you're warring with this farmstead, you have a bunch of strong warriors. You probably make off with a couple good raids and steal what you need. Well, you claim what you need. There we go.
Right.
Yeah.
Through honorable
Much-
combat.
Yep.
Exactly.
Honor through strength.
So, let's see here. What is it that you would like to have survive you, Un the Crone, and who would you like to give it to?
my runic carve bones, I would like Gurney to take them.
There you
Here's the irony.
go.
You could actually play Gurney.
That's what I was actually planning on doing all
Use-
along. I was
use your
honestly
own
like
bones
halfway
to
through the campaign,
influence
Un was
yourself.
going to pass on and Gurney was going to take over.
Yeah.
That was the whole point of that whole prophecy.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
so
it
I,
looks
I
like
will
it has
very
come to
likely be
pass.
playing as Gurney.
Will you play as the child playbook, or will you just simply play Kona again? We've
Uh,
already established she is magical.
yeah. No, I was probably I was gonna switch her to the young version of Seed
Okay.
and then play her in the same token. I think we've established that she is not a child at this point. She's definitely had her own machinations. So
Yeah.
I will be probably switching
That's
to her.
actually going to change some of my prep because she's involved with a couple of things that she no longer will be because you're playing her.
Okay. I can also come up with a different character concept.
No, it's perfectly fine. You've been setting it up. I've just been. So for those who watch the GM prep, you know that she's involved in a countdown. I'm no longer going to advance the countdown she's associated with. Because you might not share the plan that I saw Gurney the Child going down. And clearly the fact that her mother has stabbed somebody, the villagers are at war, and now she's chosen, her farmstead over her mother's farmstead now.
Yeah. Her mother acted with dishonor, stabbing her teacher.
Whoa.
There's all kinds of
You keep
stuff
bringing
going
up
on.
this mother with dishonor thing. Women can't have honor. It's
I
very
know.
clear. She did strike a man in cold blood, however, and while not dishonorable, that is somewhat troubling. We'll learn more about what happened to Thora 5 years down the road when we see what's happened in this village.
So 5 years down the road, I would like to actually then do the whole surviving the winter, changing playbooks.
Yeah, you guys all do get the surviving the winter move.
That's
even though you're quite new, Gurney the Child, you also get from that as well. You can gain an additional relationship, change your character's role, create a new character, or retire a character.
Okay.
And you want to change your playbook there.
Yeah. If I change my playbook, I basically lose everything I have, but gain an equal amount of stuff from the other playbook.
Yes, you change your role. Exactly.
And like, do I take new relationships?
Yep. You're gonna have to change all of your relationships.
No, I could, because of course I'm thinking of keeping Olaf.
So what happens is you keep all of the moves. You keep all your advancement moves so far.
Yeah.
And you lose your relationships, but you keep the bonds.
Okay. I lose all relationships.
Right.
No.
But you keep the bonds that you have with those people, so you can still spend them.
Okay.
Right.
And,
sort of like the post-mortem bonds are still there, right?
Yep.
And I keep all of, how does it work then if I've already advanced some of these relationships, do I just get to pick?
You keep the check marks, yes.
Okay.
Yep. You just need 4 check marks, and it sounds like you already have some of them, right?
I have 2 new ones because I one from Olaf now and one from Sigmundur.
Right. So even though those relationships are going to change and you're going to put new names and new relationships there, you still have the 2 checks.
Oh wait, I even have a third one. I did make a move on Ingólfur.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm very close to a new advancement. I just need to hook up with Laura again.
Well,
and then
remember, you're erasing the Laura thing and you're putting a new one in there. Mm-hmm. You're erasing all of the relationships you have and putting new things in there.
Right.
So I assume you lose your check
marks.
Just
keep the check marks.
Right.
Yeah,
you're still
marks.
one away, but it doesn't have to be with Laura.
That's
it can be with anybody.
And all my stats go over to the
the
other one.
Who you are.
And I start with just get the starting Gordiv moves. And do I keep the Wanderer
you keep your
Cunning?
advancement move, yes.
I keep Cunning, cool, because I would have picked that anyway.
You have to put it underneath the Gothi advancement. I think it gives you one that lets you pick one. Either way, it just stays on your sheet.
Cool, because I want to stick with Cunning. It's I think it's sort of Baltur's forte. If for those of you who have been wondering, yes, he's sort of a Loki worshipper. If that wasn't blatantly obvious.
So I'm going to delete all the notes I currently have on Baldur and Un's relationships because they don't exist anymore.
Yep,
Mhm.
Boom's dead.
So if you guys want to let me know what your new relationships are,
Oh,
and
yeah.
remember, you can make up new people. This is 5 years in the future. So
Yeah.
they
I'm
can-
actually debating going for the matriarch instead of Sigona. I don't want to play the
Oh.
same class all
Ooh.
over again. So maybe
I-
Gurney doesn't actually retire from play.
I am
Um,
also debating switching hats. I'm not ready to make that decision right now, though.
Yeah.
I
So keep
am.
Gurney's notes for the current, and then I'll let you know within
Well,
another day.
no.
Or so.
I mean, I'm not deleting Gurney's. Oh, you mean my countdown clocks for Gurney?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about it now. All right. Well, we can talk about it during the
Well,
week.
We can
No,
talk
it's
about it
fine.
now.
Yeah, I don't
I'm
mind
good
talking
with
about it
15
now.
more minutes.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Do I keep my money and
Yeah.
weaponry, or?
Yeah.
But I don't. But I don't get the basically the rich, comfortable
Oh,
clothes
that's a
of the
good
Gode.
point. Yeah, you gain everything on your new playbook, so you lose everything you have, and you gain the new stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good thing we're traveling 5 years down the road, so we don't have
Yeah.
to explain how you suddenly become super rich and lost all your weapons.
Yeah. It's
Right.
like I misplaced my weapons. I don't know how, and
Obviously, they broke during combat. She's
probably,
been fighting nearly constantly.
which is
Oh
also
man,
weird.
the matriarch. Have you considered playing the woman, however?
I have not.
Oh man, it'd be hilarious if you played the woman and then Ben played the man. Not that you guys are related. It's just that without a man, it's hard to run the longhouse, and the
Yeah.
woman also lets you run the longhouse.
The man and the woman are really kind of the basic roles. After
Yeah.
reading it about it,
Yeah.
and how we started out, I think
You guys have been playing on hard mode, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
And you've been doing
We have-
really well.
we have nobody to actually.
Really? I'm
make
pretty sure I
food.
died.
Yeah, but you only died because you backed yourself into a corner.
I would also like to point out that just because the bones predict doom and misfortune doesn't necessarily mean it's mine.
It was yours though.
Yeah, it was.
I knew all along. Like that was one of the things. I was like, Thora is definitely going to try to kill you all
Yeah.
weekend long.
Yeah.
She did try to kill me.
Going into the session, that my whole
Succeeded.
thing was.
Didn't she
it's
try
gonna
and
be
kill
too-
me too?
No. She was just trying to stab you for.
Just a little stabbing.
Yeah.
So by the way, 5 years down the road, what did the Gode do to her after the winter?
We'll find
Yep.
out next time.
Yeah, so
I haven't had time to think about it yet.
right, so
Okay.
that we segued into what I had a question for. So I think hinging on my decision on what I'll do next sort of depends on how things go in the next couple of years, because I can see it going a couple of ways. If fate swings in Olaf's favor and things start to look good, then there's a very real chance that I might try and play. I just lost her, Bertie, because I could definitely see Olaf. Perhaps the Gothi side gives him a favorable outcome. Maybe the feud dies down and the relationship betters and something goes better. He gives him something good. It helps him Viking. He goes on a good Viking. Things get better. Stable household. Kid comes along, and then we decide what happens to Bertie. What does she do as a free woman? Does she take up arms like her husband? Is she a shield maiden? Is she a woman? Does she help the farm? What role does she play in the community? So that's sort of what I'm thinking. I'm happy to, if everything goes to shit, it's still the same question. What does Bertie do?
I suppose it hinges a lot upon how prosperous we're gonna be for the next few years. Well, that also.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm also wondering. Like, I can pick Gode moves that can make us more prosperous. Like,
Oh yes.
call people to sacrifice and sacrifice to the gods and give us some stuff. I can also basically a bunch of supporty stuff.
I just got a message, by the way. You don't keep the cunning move. Playbooks start fresh.
Does he start as an advanced Gothi or as a zero?
He starts as a zero Gothi.
Start as a zero. Oh, that's
Yeah, you start completely new with the playbook.
So how is picking a different role different than picking a new character? I mean, I guess he's the same name, but
Relationships, that kind of stuff.
you know what I mean?
It's also in fiction. It's not necessarily like trying to min-max.
I'm
But
with. Yeah, I
look,
got you.
look, literally, he's been trying to set himself up for this move. He's been trying to become that for so long. It's been his goal. Now he is that.
Sure, sure. Okay.
It's
Yeah.
not necessarily, he hasn't kept to the ways of being super cunning and setting up situations. It worked out great for him. He managed to stop a conflict before it killed everyone in the room. It just turned into a blood feud.
Yeah, much better.
So
No,
here's
but-
my big question that's going to change the countdown clock for the future. How do you, Gothi, deal with King Harold the Fair-Haired and his herald?
That is one question. I'm still wondering about though. I mean, it is literally starting a new character. If I pick new relationships, change gear, and take different new moves, that's the exact same of just making a new character.
Yeah, but you're keeping the same name, so, you have bonds that are already established. You have an in-fiction, Remember, it's the conversation. It is like making a new character, except you're not literally creating a new character. You're just changing who you are.
Also, you're not going to be behind the pack at all.
No, not worried. I'm worried. I'm more like I lose all my weapons and I lose cunning, and that's sort of what made Baldur
As
what
a
he
Gothi,
is.
are you going to need those things anymore, though? I think maybe you
Right.
Conan the Barbarian it. Once you were 2 against the world, but now you simply have to rule Hyboria or whatever. I've never seen Conan or read it. But someone was talking about the other day that there's like a Conan the Barbarian after story where he just gets really bored ruling the continent. He's like, oh, I guess I do rule everything now, huh? Well, yawn.
Yeah.
I really should watch it at some point, though, because it's got Arnold.
Yeah. Oh, you haven't
course.
actually seen the
No,
movie?
I've never seen it, never read it.
Oh, you need to see the movie at least.
Yeah, you need to watch the movie.
Okay. Yeah, but I'm sort of wondering though, from the gore, the moves I pick really depends on how. I don't feel comfortable in like building a temple in our town if everything's going to shit.
Remember, it's been 5 years, so you could.
So
have,
the blood feud probably is not so hot right now, but it's still very likely a strong component of kind of our society at the moment.
and remember, there already was a temple there.
Oh wait. Temple is automatic. Then
Yeah,
I
you
pick one
automatically
more.
get temple. It's a black mark move.
Right.
And
Alright.
there was a temple in the first place. You can build a new one to whichever god you'd like, but there was a temple dedicated to the Ragnarok. That was the opening scene. Was a boat.
I think some people might take offense if I created a new temple dedicated to Loki.
Would they?
And like,
I don't know.
yeah, I mean,
Maybe Loki has become the village's patron in the 5-year time. You tell me.
well, last time I said I was dedicated to Loki, everybody was like, "Yeah, we hate you now. You're dishonorable." So I'm thinking like, maybe I'll just hide it.
Maybe over the years, people have come to accept it.
I suppose.
Right. You've had time to prove yourself, right?
Yeah.
That is true.
Before, you were just some guy who fought some other dude pissing in the wind. Now you've successfully led a village for 5 years.
And I think
Yeah.
that clearly illustrates the difference between continuing to play Boulder and picking a new character. If you want to play a new Gothi, then Balter, well, he shit his pants and screwed the whole pooch, and now there's a new Gothi who's up there ruling things the right way, and that's your new guy. But if Boulder, he's doing things right.
Baltur's the new god, and now we worship Loki. That sounds fun. Well, if everything's okay with that, I'd like to say that I've gotten people around my way of thinking, and we mainly make sacrifice to Loki.
So are you picking Master of Bloat, then?
I'm not sure yet.
I would say it does seem like that over the next 5 years, you're going to need a lot of sacrifices.
Oh, yeah. We are going to do that. But then I just need to get my get more moves because I want to get cunning again. It's so much fun.
Well, you get 4 new relationships to pick, and all you need to do is nail one of them, and you get an advancement.
And if yeah.
Because you have 3 check marks. Those stay.
Yeah. So that shouldn't be too hard. Yep, I like it. I like it. Baldur the new Goði, priest of Loki, who also pays homage to Odin as a secondary.
Of course.
And,
so if you have relationships you'd like to share now, you can go ahead, or if you need time to think about it, we can do it at the beginning of next week.
I need time to think about it.
All right.
I need a little bit of time to
Have we decided on
think.
you? Is it going to be Gurney the Matriarch, or is it going to be Gurney the Seath Kona, or is it going to be someone else?
It might be someone else. I'm gonna debate. Ben, did you decide if you were going to be switching to Birdie and playing the woman, or are you still on the fence?
Depends on what happens.
Shield Maiden.
It depends on what happens to Olaf, I think.
Okay.
Are you going to play Olaf for another session then?
As long as things... Well, it depends on what your email says. I want to know what happens in the 5 years. If things go tits up, I may try and salvage Olaf, but...
I don't
if
know.
he's just...
I feel like I should reveal it just like with the Saga of the Old at the beginning of the next session and call it the Saga of someone else. Probably the Saga of Gothi Baldur Odinson.
He seems like a natural...
Yeah, it does seem like we're moving into that chapter now.
Yeah.
No.
I am leaning more towards playing the Shield Maiden than playing Olaf again, if that helps you make a decision.
So you're basically playing Femme Olaf.
Yep, you got it.
Like playing Femme Shepherd.
I mean, if that's the case, I am leaning towards playing just the woman rulebook, since I think we don't have anyone even with a goatee.
Yeah,
I'm
going to start picking out moves to help our village, but I won't.
Well, I mean,
But yeah, it'll take at least like 1 game session. So, but I'll start with like a temple and things, and then I need to. How does one go about, like, the last go they had a ton of weapons. Is there what's stopping me in this game from just saying I want to take his sword and his?
You're really fixated on the weapons, aren't you? You lead a whole town. You could just borrow some swords.
Okay, nothing's stopping you from holding a sacrifice, making a shit ton of money, and using it to buy weapons.
Okay, no,
Which might tell you exactly how he got his.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that fancy armor he was wearing that withstood couple of spear thrusts.
It was 3 shields. You guys were doing a home Ganga, so he has 3 shields.
Yeah.
There was no fancy armor involved. It was pretty shitty armor. He died a horrible death.
A lightning blasted death, right?
So you are... I just want to lock it in here. Are you playing Shield Maiden? And if you are, which moves are you taking?
Oh, me?
Because interestingly enough, Shield Maiden lets you start out by picking a man's move.
Yeah, that's why I don't know which one I'm gonna pick, because that's part of what I wanted to pick. I wanted to play a sort of...
You could play a Shield Maiden who has the farmstead move from the man.
And so that's all you've actually picked on. What I really like is I was looking at picking one of those supporting roles, which is like blacksmith or something like that, because if Olaf does really well and she becomes a free woman, and then the 5 years go by, maybe she's like really pushing the gender roles like hard, and she takes on one of those responsibilities.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd looked at those. So I'm not sure.
No. Decisions.
Yep.
We can probably send emails offline and kind of coordinate. Yeah, I think having 2 Huskarls and a Seed Kona was probably, in retrospect, it was interesting.
It was interesting.
Good story.
Yeah.
We need people to actually run the town.
Well,
yeah.
Yeah, but it was fun. I liked it.
So, I mean, just so you guys know, if you guys are going to be I don't know. I'm leaning towards playing another female character.
Isn't dead. He'll still be around.
Yeah.
Yep.
He just might be changed a little bit.
I'm probably gonna take him as one of my relationships if I can have like a trusted
Emperor Palpatine. We're at 4 hours. Well,
Yeah,
we're pretty much at the end here.
Yeah,
Yep.
we're pretty much there.
trusted. I can pick one as a trusted ally. I'll probably pick that. I might take Olaf for that.
Have Olafson Jr. as another one.
Yeah. Well, I'll figure out something, and
all right, we'll sort it out in email. Despite the fact I'd like to get it on screen, we're good. We'll bring it up at the beginning of the next session, and
yeah, we'll have
I have
everything
to figure
ready.
out what happens during the next 5 years as I advance the countdown clocks. I
right.
think the Gurney clock is going to be halted.
Maybe.
Right?
I'll let you know.
Yeah,
I'll let you know in a couple
figure
days.
that one out.
Yep.
Which would be good because the Gurney countdown clock was pretty much the village explodes and everyone dies. Oh man, she's so good at the
I can't decide if I want to have the Gurney clock or play as Gurney or play as a relative of Oon the Crone, who has listed Gurney as someone who has wronged her family.
Oh my god, you could play as Balder and Oon's love child.
Ah, there you go.
Oh,
The
man.
secret dies with Oon.
Remember,
Yeah.
Birdie had a secret?
Bernie
Maybe-
and Oon did have a secret.
Yeah, maybe that was the secret.
Yeah,
Is
it's
that
actually a
sent
really
off-
good idea.
you sent
That
off
is
Oon
really
the Crone's love child to Bernie's relatives to be raised away from her horrible father.
Oh
I like
my
where this is
gosh.
going.
Oh,
This might
I
be a
do
thing.
too.
I kind of feel like I don't know.
Literally
I know
just
like
Star Wars this.
Oon's character is dead and it's not going to make a difference. But me personally, Gurney owes me a debt. Like I want to see her get her comeuppance because I don't know what she was
okay.
planning because it wasn't the poison. She was planning something. I don't know what.
She was.
Never got around
Are
to
you
doing
sure it wasn't the poison? Think back. Remember, she stopped to speak with her mother briefly when she showed up at the.
Yeah,
the
but
house.
well, maybe you were out of character or like metagaming a little bit when you said that Gurney didn't know both goblets were poisoned.
That's
It was
true.
actually and Thora stepped in.
Was I?
Yeah, fair enough.
Never know.
So I'll give you a brief glimpse behind the scene. Gurney laid out a plan to Thora
Yeah.
that would be like a 50-50 chance, and Thora was like, "Fuck it, it's gonna be 100% chance. She's definitely gonna die."
Okay. Gotcha.
So Gurney was like, "I'm getting stronger. I've seen a vision of Oon the Crone dying, so
Yeah.
I know that if there's a 50-50 chance, it's gonna happen." And the vision she saw was actually her mother murdering Oon the Crone in the middle of the night,
Okay.
kicking off a blood feud that lasted for 5 years.
Okay. Yeah. Knowing that, I might end up playing as some relative of Oon. Not necessarily the child, but we'll see.
Come on. This has
We'll
gotta
see.
be a
I
thing.
don't know. We'll consider this. All right. I'm going to head off,
that would
guys.
be
It's great
awesome.
playing
Guys,
with y'all.
have a good night. Dan.
Reconvene
Have a
next
Bye,
good
guys.
night. I am going to go to bed.
That sounds wise.
All right. Bye, guys.